Good morning. It's Thursday, the 29th, and we are going to kick off today's call. Oh, Melissa's asking for the Zoom link. So we're going to kick off this call with some wins. Jessica, do you have any wins to share that you would like to share? Personal, business, whatever.
I made the call this morning. That was my first win. I had a friend this week who has kind of dabbled in the workouts. A couple weeks ago, she said, "Oh, I worked out this whole week." And then this week, a couple days ago, she messaged me and said, "This is my third week. Thank you for the inspiration." So that
Aww.
was really sweet. That really made my day.
And she's doing Beachbody or no?
Yeah, she's one of my customers.
Aww. Which program is she doing?
21 day. So I was really proud of her.
Well, Shay woke up yesterday and got inspired. I think she was inspired by our diamond call we had yesterday and was like, that's it. I'm making my husband a diamond. And she recruited and signed 5 coaches in one day.
That's amazing.
And I was like, isn't it cool to blow your own mind and see what you're capable of?
I will say halfway through the day, I almost quit. Like, not quit Beachbody, but halfway through the day, like, in the beginning when you first start recruiting and nobody's messaging you back and you feel like you're working so hard and nobody's responding, you're like, I remember I was leaving my husband's office and I was like, he goes, "How many coaches have you signed?" And I was like, 1, and I'm done, I'm over it, and it's not happening today. And he was like, "Are you kidding me?" He goes, "Just keep pushing." So then 9 o'clock, I signed my 5th coach.
Awesome.
And he goes, "Look at what would have happened if you quit when it was sucking." He's like, "You just kept going, and therefore you almost got it."
Amazing.
Yay. I know. It is. And I'm telling you, after being someone who has and has been in qualification, it literally comes down to every Wednesday night working until 9 p.m. when the clock strikes 9. And you always think, like, this Wednesday I won't have to, like, I'll get it done early. And no, and it's a constant test to see if you'll actually stick with it and keep showing up until 9 p.m. And that's the difference right there between the coaches that make stuff happen and the coaches that don't, because it's so easy to just, I don't feel like doing this anymore, right? I want to throw in the towel.
Well,
Melissa made it.
and I told Noah, I said, why did I give myself, because yesterday, I don't know what it is. I worked out, I was fine, it was just going to be another day. And then at about, what time did I text you, Joy? Like 9 a.m.? I just felt this fire and I was like, I'm done. I'm going to go diamond today in his account. And Noah looked at me and I go, yeah, I'm going to make you diamond today. And I'm going to tell Joy, because if I don't tell anyone, nothing's going to happen. So after I told her, I was like, well, I can't not do it now. I got to do it now. I told the world. And so that was my whole day. But I was like, last night at 9 o'clock when I'm waiting for that last number 5 to go through, I was like, why did I give myself less than 12 hours to do this? Why didn't I decide this on Tuesday?
So Shay, actually, would you mind sharing a little bit of what you did yesterday and how you were able to all of a sudden sign 5 coaches? Because I think people would love to hear.
Well, 1, I just decided to do it. And I do know, Joy has told me that for 8 months, 9 months now, is just decide to freaking do it. And there's something in a decision. It's the same thing when you decide you're getting married, you start wedding planning. When you decide you're going to have a kid, you start preparing and maybe saving money and whatever. Our decisions really lead our actions. And so it was I'm deciding and I'm going for it and I'm going for it. Today, like a crazy person, but once you decide, and these are all things Joy's been telling us, but honestly, once it clicks, once you decide, you start seeing opportunities. I struggle so much with scarcity mindset. That is my biggest struggle. It always has been, because I'm always I've reached out to everybody. Nobody wants to do it. This isn't going to work for me. Once you decide, you start seeing opportunities everywhere. So all of a sudden I was like, oh, I talked to that person in February and we've had kind of a conversation going. I put an incentive on it. I put a $20 gift card. I'm going to be broke by the end of it. But it was like, what can I offer people to get them to do it today? And you start kind of thinking that way of, what am I going to do? Because we all know we have awesome programs. We all know we have awesome products. We all know we have an awesome team. But what can I offer people today to get them excited? And 3 of those 5 coaches want to work the business, which was huge for me because I've been talking about the business like crazy, but no one has come to me, because I think we all wait for someone to come to us because we're like, we're posting, no one's voting on our poll, so nobody must want it. One of the girls I reached out to, she was like, I've been watching you and it looks so fun to coach and I would love the extra income. So I'm so glad that you reached out to me. And it was like, if I didn't see that opportunity, she's a brand new mom. She has a lot going on, but she's staying home. If I didn't choose to make him diamond that day, I wouldn't have made the choice to reach out to her as an opportunity. So there's nothing special about it. There was nothing special about me. There was nothing special about my invite. There was nothing. It was just, I made a decision and I saw opportunity where I hadn't before.
Okay, so I have a follow-up question to that. Because I think it's easy, and I've been there, I've done this before, to be like, well, I've decided, like, I want it, I'm here. What's the difference between that and, no, this is happening?
No, because I think there are many times we say the words, I've decided, but we haven't really decided.
Because deciding means you've got to the point where you're willing to do whatever it takes.
Right, because there have been many times throughout the last couple months that I've decided to get Noah diamond. I decided all of August to get him diamond. That was my goal, was to be 2-star qualifying by September 1st. Mm-hmm. Well, I'll be 1-star beginning of September qualifying. For sure, by next Thursday I will be, because I'm only an emerald away. And I did it in one freaking day, which then irritates me, because why didn't I do that 5 weeks ago? But it's because I had decided with my words, but I hadn't decided with my actions. I hadn't made that actual fire decision. And I'm telling you, it felt like a freaking fire within me. And it wasn't just my words, because, we all can say, oh, I want to do X, Y, and Z. Well, I want to make $1 million today, but I'm not gonna, you got to have that fire and actually have the actions to back it up.
And that's why I tell everyone, that's the only thing standing between you and what you want, is the decision. Because once you decide, you'll take the actions. Why do you think we don't decide?
Well, because we have so much holding me back. For me, I've struggled so much with scarcity mindset, so much. And Joy knows this. I tell her all the time, I'm like, there's not enough people out there. Nobody wants to join me. I've told everybody about Beachbody. And she's like, no, you haven't. You've talked to 7 billion people. Come on. So you honestly have to find what holds you back, because something holds all of us back. And it will continue to hold you back. Just because Joy is 5-star diamond does not mean she doesn't have crap in her head that holds her back. Doesn't mean that her stuff from years ago doesn't keep creeping up. We all have it, but you have to recognize it, and you have to know how to put that in a box in your storage unit and keep going and leave it there, because it's always going to be there. But I think recognizing it and knowing how to push through it.
And that's where I love the analogy I've gotten from Kayla Kraft about how she's like, every time you have that old story come up that's not serving you, because that's what it is.
Yeah.
She's like, it's in the past, but we keep creating it because we keep choosing to hold on to it. She's like, that's your little girl inside. That's your little girl who's freaking out and she wants to drive the bus. And so she's like, you can't hate her. You can't be like, oh, you're terrible, go hide. I want to cover you up. She's like, you need to acknowledge her and say, I see you and I see what you're doing and I know you're afraid, but 34-year-old Joy is driving the bus today. I got this. I'm going to make you proud and I'm going to keep you safe. You can ride on the bus, but I'm driving. Yeah. And you're just along for the view. I don't want your input. I don't want your advice. I'm driving the bus. And I have to do that all the time. Why do you guys think I get up and spend an hour doing affirmations every morning? because literally it happens to me all the time. And I get that it's the little girl inside of us that's scared, that had stuff happen to her or had experiences. But we're the only ones, and I have to keep going back to this. I'm the only one that keeps my past alive. My past is in the past, and I'm the one that chooses to keep it alive by keeping on telling myself the same story, which is why I don't have to be the same Joy today I was yesterday. And that's super cool when you realize that. That's empowering. Does anybody else want to share any wins or anything encouraging?
I got
Or
it.
Shay, do you have any other thoughts?
School.
You're going to school?
No, I got Ainsley to play school at home, my classroom.
Emily likes to play school, but I will say, I need to shout out my kid for a win real quick, because she was born super, super, super sick, and so her core is really not strong, and she's been through physical therapy and all these things, but she had to take like a PACER test, which is a fitness test at school, and you're supposed to get 50 sit-ups, right? Is that how much it is?
That's how much I got last
Okay, that's how much she got last time. But anyway, so she took it like this first week of school, and she only got 6. But she went back yesterday, and she went to her teacher, and she said, I really want to retake that test because I know I can do better. And this girl got 20 sit-ups, which was awesome, because she could have went and said, I was born sick and my core is weak. And she could have used her past, her birth story, as an excuse. And instead she went to her teacher and was like, I can do better. And she rocked it out of the park.
Yeah.
So I have to shout her out for a second.
That's awesome.
And does she do these programs with you a lot?
She won't know.
No.
What program?
She's a preteen. Every once in a while, I can get her to do a few things. Ainsley's
Those-
always working out with us. This one,
Well, me and Kate sometimes do, but then mom gets mad at us because we never finish the whole workout.
I'll go to
We
my
just-
workout and it's halfway through. I'm like, who left it halfway?
We just die in the middle, and then we start yelling at Jericho.
All right, I'm muting us, guys.
Ah!
All right, does anybody else want to share anything? And then I can share a really quick thought from John Maxwell. We talked about yesterday the quote about habits and how they make or break you, how they can make you great or they can make you a failure. And he was talking about, go back to this, daily practices to become more teachable. And the first one was preparation, being prepared for your day, getting up and even looking at your day and saying, like, where are my potential learning moments today? Who will I meet? What can I ask them? What will I experience? What might I be able to learn from it? And then we're going to talk today about, go ahead, Shay. Point number 2 is contemplation. And he talks about taking time alone to learn. Contemplation allows people to observe and reflect on occurrences in their lives. It's good to remember there's much to learn from negative experiences. In science, mistakes always precede discoveries. It's impossible to make discoveries without an accumulation of errors. To a scientist, a mistake is not a failure, it's feedback. Using that feedback, a scientist can ask not just what happened, but also what does it mean? That comes from using critical thinking skills. Without them, we miss the meaning of the occurrences in our lives. When the lessons we learn come from mistakes, we must first determine if the mistake was due to ignorance or stupidity. Ignorance means we didn't have the necessary information. Stupidity means we had the necessary information but misused it. As you spend time in contemplation, ask yourself questions like these. What can I learn from what I read today? What can I learn from what I saw today? What can I learn from what I heard today? What can I learn from what I experienced today? What can I learn from what I did wrong today? What can I learn from whom I met today? What can I learn from what I discussed today? And he talks about setting aside 30 minutes at the end of every day to think about your day and contemplate what happened and what you can learn from it. Not only will that help you remain teachable, but you will also learn something every day because of the process. This is something that I've tried to do, and I'm not super great at it, at being disciplined. Take the time when I'm sitting in bed to look back over my day and be like, what did I learn today? Because what I've noticed about people who are successful, and I don't just mean that as like a money term, I mean that as successful people, period. They learn all the time. and they're open to learning and they're actually looking for learning. So I've tried to not just let my life happen and pass by, but to actually like be aware and be like, oh, what did I learn? Is there something I need to learn from today? Because I'd like to learn it now rather than having it happen over and over and over again, or keep living the same day over and over and over again. So that's something that I'm going to be working on. And I thought that could be our little thought for today, is just becoming more present and aware of our days and our lessons instead of just continuing to let life just happen and go by and not actually take the gold from it that we can. So there's our thought for today. Does anybody
I like
else?
it.
Jessica, I know you have to go to work.
Yes, thank you for the inspiration, though. You guys have a great day.
Did you see that tracker that I tagged you into?
Yeah, I actually really like that.
Oh, here, let me get a quick. Shay, you're going to be on the boomerang. Okay, should we do a picture? Okay, 1, 2, 3. All right, you girls are beautiful. Go have a good day, and I will see you guys tomorrow.
See you guys.
Bye.